weekend roundup is live here at Toca Social on the 3rd of June. We're gonna be here cooking people for days. It's gonna be a madness. Ange, Poch, Robbie with Arsenal. You guys need to be getting your tickets. We're gonna be doing a live show. We're playing games, watching England play as well. It's gonna be a madness. Make sure you're here for it, live.
Hi, and welcome along to the weekend preview. If you haven't yet got your tickets for Toca Social, they're selling really fast. Make sure you get them right now, right? Because the whole team is going to be there on the night. You can come down, you can cook us if you want to cook us, like we ain't been cooked enough times already this season. You can banter with us, and we're going to have a great discussion. We're also going to be playing games of football, so you can play along with us. We're going to watch the England game as well. That's going to be taking place after that. So if you want to get your tickets, the links are in the description right now. We want to see all of you down there on the night, but tickets are selling fast. So make sure you get your ticket for that big night down at the Toca Social. Toca Social, by the way, in case you don't know, is in the O2, and it's a great venue, great footballing venue. So make sure you get down there on the night. But the only way you're going to get in is if you've got a ticket, so get them right. You want to meet Abbi Summers?
Who wouldn't want to meet me?
Who wouldn't want to meet Abbi
Who
Summers?
Who wouldn't want to come cook me?
Your chance to meet her and question her will be on the night. If you want to meet Matisse and ask him what's going wrong with Chelsea.
What's going right?
What's going right with Chelsea?
What's right with Chelsea?
We can meet him down there on the night. And by the way, we've got Laurie standing in today. We've got, give it up for Laurie. A late substitution because we've got no Flex today.
Got no Flex is Alex. No,
Alex. So explain both of them. Flex, of course, is doing a load of filming around the FA Cup final, so that's why he's not able to be here today. And Alex was at the Europa League final last night, so he's making his way back from there. I think he's still over there, probably slumped in some corner with guineas in his hand, right? But yeah, he was at the Europa League final last night. By the way, that was a good final.
What a performance.
Lookman.
Done and dusted, honestly.
Lookman with a unbelievably good hat-trick.
Yeah.
I was so happy for him. A lot of people don't realise that Lookman's actually from London. He's born in South London.
Charlton. Come through Charlton.
Yeah, come through Charlton, the system. Was Everton, remember?
Yeah.
And didn't really happen for him at those clubs. Has gone abroad, gone to Atalanta, and he's had a great season. He was the star player for Nigeria in the African Cup of Nations, but lost out in that cup final. They got to the final. He got to the final of the Italian Cup, but they lost out. But it's third time lucky for him, and he was the star of the show, Matisse.
Unbelievable.
What a performance.
The first goal was a good finish, but the second goal, nutmegging Xhaka.
Nutmegging
and then
Xhaka.
Spinning it into the back, the far corner. And then the third goal, it was
tapped sober for dead, didn't he? These are top players.
These are Ronaldo-esque finishes in a final.
Step over and bang.
Left foot, top corner.
In a final. Hat-trick in a final.
Very Ronaldo-esque.
I must admit, I never saw the game. I'd spoken to you earlier. I was in the gym. But when I come out and heard the results, I was like, what?
Do you know what? I had a feeling, right? I had a feeling that, you know, Leverkusen just might come a cropper. It wasn't based off of anything. I was just like, you know, when it's just like going so well for you.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I just got a feeling that Atalanta, because
they're in good form in Serie A.
Remember Atalanta, they destroyed Liverpool as well.
Yeah.
I mean, they beat them 3-0 as well. Was it 3-1 at Anfield? So I was like, they're coming up against a really top team, and their manager Gasperini.
Yeah.
I was saying to my daughter earlier, right? I remember being over in Cyprus a few years ago, and I met this football agent from Italy. And he was telling me how good Gasperini is as a manager, and saying to me how he's the style of football he plays is very sort of un-Italian, in that he's very attacking, he's all about press, very Jurgen Klopp-esque.
Yeah.
And he was going to, you know, he'd be a good manager to come over and be, he was even suggested him for Arsenal and stuff like that. And yeah, he really proved his worth. It was a great final.
Yeah, it was
great
brilliant.
final.
I think they could have scored more goals as well.
Yeah.
Some chances. So
and they had jeans on. He did it all in a pair of jeans. Which, all right, cup final, jeans, love it.
It's interesting. Who would have thought that a team that's fifth in their domestic league is going to beat Leverkusen and gone up until then unbeaten all season?
Yeah.
They've won 5 out of the last 5 though. They're pushing for top 4, Atalanta.
Yeah.
But now they've got Champions League anyway.
Got I think we're going to be in the Champions League anyway.
Yeah, maybe 5 spots.
And now they've got Champions League. And yeah, great achievement for them. And it was a great game and a fantastic hat-trick by him. We're obviously going to talk about the game, the FA Cup final, which takes place this week. Repeat of last year, Manchester United versus Manchester City. But I thought before we get into that, right? Before we got into that,
We must.
we must.
We must.
We must.
We must talk about your club. We must.
What?
We must.
What?
How have you sacked a manager that's got you European football? How have you done that? How have you? That's your best finish in what, 3 years? How have you done that?
What? Free?
2.
2.
2. All right, 2 years. How have you done that? What's going on with your club?
Explain.
Explain.
What is going on at Stamford? My mate sent me a message today. Let me see if I can get it right. Massive Chelsea fan, lives in Qatar, and he just said, where is it?
What did he say? He's shocked.
What is going
going
on
on?
at Chelsea? Why did Pochettino leave? He was on a high.
Well, there's multiple reasons.
Leave him
I
high,
think
innit?
I think first thing, we can't ignore the fact that up until the last 5 games, Chelsea were 10th, 12th all season.
Yeah, but that's
right?
not where you usually.
I know it's not where we finished,
not
but
where you finished.
you don't.
33 out of 38.
If you're really truly evaluating a season, you don't evaluate 5 games, especially 2 of them against Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest, where the performances were still a bit, ropey and could have gone either way. You do evaluate over 38 games. And I think the second most important reason is mostly likely the fact that they're not even pulling in the same direction. I've said that so many times all season. The board are trying to sell Gallagher. They're trying to sell Chalobah for pure profit. They're building in what they feel to believe is a more technically, exciting Brazilian-esque, team in terms of Estavo and Kenji Pires and Enzo and Caicedo. And we know Pochettino's philosophy is not geared in a very possession-based way. It's more pressing off the ball, but also a little bit more transitional, a bit more back and forth. I think they could have, found a bit of balance in terms of the best of both worlds, because I don't think either direction is pulling us to the top. I think there needed to be a bit of a blend between the both of them. However, they obviously don't see it like that, and they wanted to push in a different direction. I don't really feel like most of us as Chelsea fans are looking at Pochettino thinking, damn, we were really looking forward to next season, like he was going to smash it. We don't know what was going to happen with Pochettino.
But he stabilised the thing. He stabilised it. You finished.
The players,
you're in the Europa League.
Yeah, the players
talking about the
really
Europa
liked
League.
him. The players really liked him, and the players were
good
playing for
start
him. Yeah,
for a
and the
manager.
players seem to be a little bit annoyed, to put it nicely, that he's gone.
I saw Nicholas Jackson.
And
He looked like he's going to have a meltdown.
But more importantly, it's the people on the shortlist that I'm concerned about, because none of them are really ready to be in this seat. Like, a lot of them maybe have potential, just like the players, but they're not ready to actually manage Chelsea because it's such a massive
let's talk
jump.
a little bit about that shortlist. So you've got Enzo Maresca, who of course is currently the manager at Leicester City. He was Pep's number 2. Right, so maybe you're going a bit like the Arteta
Battle of the bridesmaids.
right?
Trust the process.
You've also got Kieran McKenna, who's done a great job bringing up Ipswich, brought them up 2 divisions.
Yeah.
He's also been lined up for it, and also Thomas Frank of why are you laughing?
That's the worst one on the list,
Frank
by the way.
of Brentford.
Yeah. I mean, that one makes no sense. Thomas Frank shouldn't even be on the shortlist. If they want to play a more possession-based game...
And Gareth Southgate, I heard as well.
Yeah. There's 2 sides to it. Obviously, Chelsea scored quite a good amount of goals last season into comparison of the season before, where it was less than what Luton have scored this season. But we conceded the most goals in our Premier League history. The defence was shocking this season. We was wide open. So they're saying they want to stabilise defence. They want to keep the ball a lot more. They want to play in a manner that more gears towards maybe the Enzo Fernandezes of the team and some of the other players coming in. But Thomas Frank doesn't do that. So why is Thomas Frank on the list? Thomas Frank doesn't play...
It's a good experience, isn't it?
Nah.
Keeps teams
No.
up.
Nah. If you want experience, right?
Alright.
You've got Thomas Tuchel that's there, who you could just make amends with, right? I know he didn't.
Not gonna bring
he had,
back
I know,
Thomas.
but he had a
He's
poor.
a
He had a
massive
poor.
falling out
He had a
with him,
poor
didn't he?
season in the Bundesliga, but he's a far superior manager to Thomas Frank. Let's not even do that. You can maybe even look at De Zerbi if you want to play a certain brand of football, right? At least it would make sense. He's maybe worked
think
with
De
Colwell.
Zerbi
He's
and
worked
Bowley
with.
works, though?
Yeah, but he's got a hot head and he talks out a lot, and that's what they don't want. But he's managed Mudryk, he's managed Caicedo, Colwell. He's got some level of experience in this league now, 2 seasons. Or, maybe there's some other contenders that you'll bring up. But you can't go down the Thomas Frank route, who literally contradicts everything that you're saying about Pochettino. You say that you want to play a certain way, so then play that way then. Get a manager that plays a certain brand of football. You can't say Thomas Frank is going to manage Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo. What are we doing here?
What's your feeling on it? Are you happy?
I'm not happy, no. I'm not happy. How can I be happy?
Because this guy...
There's nothing to celebrate.
Nikhil says, Matisse, bro, what did you do to Poch? You drove him away.
I didn't
Todd
drive
B's
nobody
been
away.
watching all of your reactions and
Nah,
laughing
bruv.
out loud. He says, please continue to keep us rival fans entertained.
On the weekend, to at home to Bournemouth, we conceded 22 shots. That was a large part of our season, which was conceding a whole heap of goals, not controlling games, not even bopping teams at home to Leicester, at home to away to Middlesbrough, at home to Leeds, battered against. So I can go through so many results. And they also seem to think that he's the reason for the injury crisis because of the training methods. Now, I don't know if that's the case because we're going to find out next season. All I know is that the directors, they have no one to blame if the injuries continue.
Finished sick.
But I always said, alongside with Pochettino, I said the directors also should be accountable alongside with him. That's in every tweet, every title of my videos because
But
I
do
don't think the
find it
directors...
ironic that
I don't
people
think
like yourself and Rory Jennings and one or two others.
Don't do that.
Mad.
Wow. Wow.
I'm not mad. No, because you know...
No, they were mad against Poch. Now he's
I
been
wasn't mad.
sacked.
No.
They seem to be
I actually wanted Poch in the job. However, I'm going to hold him accountable to certain standards. You can't be dwindling in 12, conceding 22 shots to teams and getting destroyed at home to championship teams and needing late winners in cup games and losing to Liverpool in a final full of
But
kids.
do you not think the trajectory was being pushed upwards towards the
No,
end of
because
his tenure?
at the end of the season, we finished with the 5 games. But if you're evaluating the whole season, you can't say with confidence that next season he was gonna be great. It was hope. So it's not about Poch. It's more about the directors who I always bring into the conversation, going for managers that are very, very, very fresh on the scene. These guys are managing in the Championship. Some of these names, Kieran McKenna's another one. To make a jump from Ipswich to Chelsea is wild. So just because we're not content with the manager's performance, and I can go through so many reasons
He
why.
was an assistant manager at Man United.
Yeah, I can go through so many reasons why. It doesn't mean we have to agree with the shortlist that they've come with now, you know?
Absolutely.
It's a mess, isn't it?
Yeah, well, listen, it's all over the shop, but these directors, if people don't hold them accountable next season, if they're not going to do it now, then I don't know what's going
Who
on.
would you like then?
I've said Thomas Tuchel.
They're not even remotely
No,
looking
but they're
at
not
Thomas
gonna get
Tuchel.
him back.
They're not looking at Conte. They're not looking at Tuchel. They're not looking at anyone like that.
I would prefer De Zerbi, even though I have questions over De Zerbi. I'd prefer De Zerbi over these championship
Kenny
managers.
Fan TV says Lampard.
No.
And JJ says Chelsea fans are going into depression next season. I mean, it's not the way to prepare, isn't it? I mean, all right, I know you want to bring the new guy in early so, you know, you can get a bit of money. If you're going to give money to someone, you're going to want to spend that money, but it's not great preparation, is it?
No, it's not great preparation. It depends how quickly they move. They need to appoint a manager as soon as possible so we can go into pre-season knowing what's going on. I think they'll get it done over the next... They might even be announced today, later on tonight, or it will be announced tomorrow. But like I said, you know, the directors, they're the ones that are meant to set the kind of course. They're the ones that are meant to lead the footballing identity of the team. So if they believe that long term it was never going to work out with Poch, and you have to remember, like I said, Poch wanted to keep Gallagher and Chalobah, and these two players are up for sale. So it was never going to work with Poch because they don't listen to what he needs and the profiles he wants.
Other than the Gallagher and Chalobah one is that they have to sell them.
They don't have to
meet the financial.
They've already
fair.
passed that. They'll sell them anyway just to make them in a comfortable position for next season, but they don't have to sell them.
I think it was more the fact that, well, I won't say fact because it's not fact yet, but the likelihood is that he'll go to Tottenham. That's what a lot of the Chelsea fans were.
Gallagher?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gallagher's been strongly linked. Actually, Chalobah's been linked as well. The Poch thing for me is an interesting one, right? Because it is true what Mar's saying. Like 33 out of 38 games, Chelsea were shit. Like, let's just not sugarcoat it. They really were. And then those kind of 5 games, kind of after the Arsenal game, that's when obviously they picked up form going into those last 5 and managed to get, you know, some type of European football because of everyone else around them. United, you know, they nearly caught Spurs, Newcastle as well. But what I did see in those last 5 games is players playing for the manager and understanding and clicking in that identity. So from having Pochettino as a manager, obviously Tottenham did click, but in that first season it did take some time. It wasn't until probably like 4 months in that you started to see what he wanted to do, and that whole season, that first season, where everything was starting to click. So for me, I'm obviously over the moon because looking at those last 5 games as like a sample, I'm saying, okay, they're getting what he's selling. Like, they're bought into it.
Getting it together.
They're getting it together. Good pre-season. They could be really strong next year in terms of maybe not challenging, but back in the top 4. Like, I could have seen that.
That would have been the expectations.
100%. Not necessarily going and winning something, don't know. But as in, like, up there challenging again, like for those top 4 spots. I could see that because of the way that those last 5 games went. Yes, the defending needed work, but it was looking a bit how it was at Spurs, like in that first season when I think he finished 5th as well, 5th or 6th. So I could see that. I'm quite surprised. I am surprised, but then I'm not, because he was on a 2-year deal with an option for a third. I never thought they were going to extend it to the third.
No.
And then obviously there's this whole thing about the Club World Cup next summer. His contract would have ended at the end of the season. Then you've got the Club World Cup, which Chelsea are an inaugural part of. So they didn't want to change manager for that. I don't really see the relevance of that, because that's not that important in terms of the Premier League, in my opinion, at this stage. But what Pochettino didn't like at Spurs was the lack of control and autonomy he had over transfers, right? Having that relationship with Daniel Levy. Didn't have it at PSG either, because of how in control the owners are and the chairman, etc. And then come to Chelsea, which was always going to be a similar situation and a bit of a circus because of Todd Bowley and Ighbali. So that was never going to be a fit. I always felt that the better fit for Poch would have been to go to somewhere like Manchester United, which could happen if Eric Ten Hag goes.
Could go to United.
That is a better fit, in my opinion, than Chelsea would ever have been.
There's a balance to it, because when you give a manager 100% say on transfers, like Ten Hag with Man United, look what happens. Like, managers are not scouts.
No.
The only thing that I would have wanted is that Poch say the profiles and the attributes that the team lacks and the weaknesses in the team, and then the scouts go and find those players and bring them in. I'm not expecting the manager to bring names, because you're not a scout. You're not privileged to watch enough football. It's not possible. So that's not your
But they
job.
might have it. They will have identified X, Y, Z targets that they would put forward to, for scouts to go and watch.
But most clubs operate on that business model, don't they? Whereby the manager has less say nowadays.
But they do work
It's
together.
only going to be the likes of a Pep.
But they work together. Pep, Tiki work together, right?
Yeah.
Arteta, Edu,
Work together.
Klopp, Edwards, previously before obviously what happened. That's the way to go about it. What we're doing, in my opinion, is not that, because we're not working with the manager. If we appointed Poch, they did extensive research going into this appointment to say, right, we want this manager. That means you need to find out what his system is, how he plays, and you need to build the team in that manner. You build the team based on the manager, not based on your ideas of what you think football is, because unless you're going to appoint the guy that matches the squad. But that's what they're looking at. That's what they have to do.
The business model of most clubs now is they have a sporting director, they have a team.
Yeah.
They have in mind certain players that fit their criteria that they want to go for. They bring in the players.
You bring in the manager first, then the players. Really, you should.
The manager has a bit of input into that. Though.
Whereas they brought in the players.
Although
they're going to be on their 5th manager in 2 years. Chelsea, it's absolutely crazy.
It's worse than Abramovich.
That's what I said.
Well,
apart from they're not winning nothing.
But
That's what I said.
because they went and
That's what I
bought all
said.
these players, and then you're just giving it. It's like me buying you all these things and saying work with it, and you're like, well, it's nothing that I'm used to or want to work with. They can't get my ideas. But you used to be able to go and get any manager you wanted. This is where I see a completely different Chelsea from the one I grew up with and that's been in my life the last 20, 30 years. That you used to be able to walk into any club, Real Madrid, Barcelona, take the best players, the best managers, and say, come to Chelsea, we'll back you on that. Now, when I look at who you're looking at, this is not to disrespect Thomas Frank or Kieran McKenna or anyone, but look at where Chelsea are in terms of what your trajectory is and your ceiling, what you're looking at. That's not to say they're not doing a good job, but if I was Kieran McKenna, I would be said, absolutely not, I'm not going to Chelsea. I'd rather stay at Ipswich or go to Brighton, because Chelsea is Chelsea is a poison chalice. Look at Graham Potter. Okay, he was sought after. He turned Tottenham down twice. Okay, he decided to go to Chelsea. They gave him 4 months, and then he was out the door. What's to say that if you would have stuck with Graham Potter, that might have worked?
I think top managers, I hear what you're saying, but managers that are in the Championship right now who really shouldn't be even in the running for a Premier League job of that level, they're going to take that job.
Well, you say that.
It's an opportunity to change. It's an opportunity to change the status quo.
This is a good super chat here from Uncle Summy. He says, Pep was Barca B manager. Arteta was an assistant manager. Xavi Alonso was Real Sociedad B manager. Why is Kieran McKenna wild? Tuchel doesn't fit the desired possession style either, which he doesn't, does he? What you're talking about?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't suit the squad. But I know what I'm getting with Tuchel. Whereas,
you're not going to get the league though.
No, I'm not going to get the league. No, but I might get 10th. I might get 8th.
Your owners want the league.
Yeah.
Right. Which is the right thing to do. He was in charge there. He was nowhere near the league, was he? Really, when you think about it. So
he wasn't really given enough time. He had the same amount of time, less time to challenge for the league than any of the managers challenging right now. So
yeah. Jonathan Norton says, if Chelsea were crap for 33 games, our crap was Spurs. For Chelsea to finish 3 points behind you and have a better goal difference.
Terrible. Second half of the season, terrible.
Well, listen, it's another Chelsea merry-go-round. So out of everybody, then you Tuchel's.
I don't want any of them.
The main one.
Whoever comes in.
Who do you want then?
I don't want anyone. Any of these.
Which mean you don't want anyone?
I don't want
No
any of these
manager.
guys. Listen, whoever
Who do you want? You can have someone.
I've already said who I want. I'm not gonna. I'm not
Yes,
gonna.
it's
I don't
Tuchel.
have a list. Yeah, I've already said that loads of times.
McKenna is quite an interesting.
I don't know Kieran McKenna well enough to say that I
but
want
he comes with a
Kieran
very
McKenna.
good reputation. If you listen or
He does.
read what
I know he
people
does.
say
He's been
about
promoted
him,
back to back.
He's a young, ambitious manager. You got a bunch of young players. To me, that seems like a good
It's
fit.
Chelsea, though.
I wouldn't touch it if I was him.
It's Chelsea.
No, but
the
if
thing
you're a
is,
young, ambitious manager, something
wouldn't
like
but
touch
look,
it.
you know the thing is
I
about it,
wouldn't
right?
touch
Where
it.
I'd say it's a bit different to like say, even like you look at the Arteta thing, are Chelsea going to give that time?
No.
To a Kieran McKenna, if he comes in, it's
And
what
don't hit the
Abby
ground
said. We
running.
saw it with Graham Potter, innit? They didn't really give him time. It's kind of like.
Do you know what? If I was Kieran McKenna and I wanted to move away from Ipswich, I'd go to Brighton because you're going to get time. You know how they work. You know how they know how they do business.
You may not get the opportunity ever again.
No, you will get that opportunity. This is where someone like, for example, Xabi Alonso comes into it. He could have gone to Liverpool this summer. I'm not saying Bayern Leverkusen isn't a big club. It is in terms of the Bundesliga, but history-wise, they hadn't won that much, and he's gone there and said, you know what? I'm doing something here. I'm building on it. Okay, we haven't won the treble, but they could still do the double, and be
No,
be
all of
invincible
what
in
you're
that.
saying is true. What I'm saying is, as a young, ambitious manager,
but your career
that
is
might
long.
appeal to you.
Your career is long. You don't need to rush and go to Chelsea when Chelsea is a shit show. Like it is.
And you could ruin your career.
Exactly. Your stocks will go
It's a
down.
risky take.
Your stocks will go down necessarily if it doesn't work out.
It's risky. It's very risky. But let's just see what they bring in.
Couple more super chats here.
I think
Mingo
Deserby
says
would have been best.
Poch didn't want Palmer, so why should we listen to him? He didn't want Cole Palmer, so why
Says
should we
who?
listen to him anyway?
Listen, I'm not saying that
Mingo.
Poch should have had 100% control on recruitment. I don't think that's healthy because his deal would not have been extended anyway. I think even if he had stayed, he would have been let go next season anyway.
Yeah.
Dan Boyle says,
For sure.
big up the panel. Can't believe they let him go. But can you say a big hello to my mate, Big Wayne? And I'm not getting caught out with that. He's watching from Ireland, right?
Are you actually getting caught out?
Kerr. No, he's trying to. No, ready for that, ready, right? And JJ says, Todd bought the wrong blue. He should have went for Brighton.
He should have. He might as well have. He's literally basically bought the whole of Brighton.
Yeah.
Staff,
That's what I'm saying.
players,
If you're gonna, you
management.
may as well get Deserby, innit?
And there's a little poll going on
You'd
at the
like
moment. Who
Deserby.
should be the next Chelsea manager? Hold on a minute. It's just moving away from me here. Enzo Maresca, 12%. Thomas Frank, 21%. Kieran McKenna, 21%. Someone else, 43%. So you can see that most people would rather someone else.
I'd rather Kieran McKenna than Thomas Frank.
You should get
Mark
Warnock out of
Edmund
retirement.
says
Big
Chelsea hiring Ollie's
David
assistant
Moyes.
is Bowley's magic.
Oh yeah, David Moyes. What? He's free.
He was, you know what? He was pretty
He's
like
free.
lively on the last show, but since then it's just all falling apart again. For
I'd rather Kieran McKenna than David Moyes and bloody Thomas Frank. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
Now.
also
I don't even
for-
know Kieran McKenna
what's wrong
like
with
that.
Thomas Frank though?
Thomas Frank is Robbie, please don't do this
What's
to me.
wrong
You
with
don't
Thomas
respect
Frank?
me.
He's an
You don't
established Premier
You don't
League
respect
manager.
my club. No, you don't respect my club.
He's
I'm not
established.
even answering this.
No, hold on. He's an established Premier League manager.
Cool. Go and manage
What's
West
to
Ham
say-
then. Go and
what's to
manage
say
West
if he
Ham.
had a bigger job?
What's wrong with West
You can say that with
I
anyone.
think you're being a bit snobbish towards
You are.
Thomas
I'm not being
Frank.
snobbish.
Yeah,
You're
it's coming
being really
across that
snobbish.
way.
Please tell me the football
You're
that
being-
Brighton play with the long throws and
Brentford.
Sorry, Brentford, right?
No, but it's pragmatism.
Yeah.
He's working with what he's got.
So why do I need pragmatism to manage?
No, I'm saying his way he manages Brentford is to keep them in the Premier League, which he's
I've got
done.
Esteval, Messinho, the next Neymar, the next Ronaldinho coming in, right?
Is Thomas Frank a good manager?
I've got Kendry Pires coming in, right, from Ecuador. Why on earth would I give them to Thomas Frank next?
But what?
Why would I do
But
that?
you also
Because
need,
you consider him beneath.
Yeah.
Chelsea.
No, I don't
And you
consider
need
it's
a
not about
nine.
being beneath, it's about mirroring the players with the manager. That is not making sense.
But you could maybe
man's
he'll
been
bring Ivan
managing
Toney with
Norgard.
him.
What are we doing here?
He might bring Tony with him. You need a striker as well.
Swear.
No, but you know
Listen,
what it
I'm
is? It's
just
not
helping
what I call
you.
a sexy appointment. It's
not
like it
sexy.
might stabilise
It's
you.
not-
It doesn't need to be
It might
sexy.
stabilise you.
Apparently,
And
we're
you
already
need
stabilised.
stabilising.
So what are we doing here?
All right, let me do a couple more super chats. Daniel says, Abby, if Poch wanted to come back to Spurs, would you have him or are you sticking with Big Ange? Love the show, by the way. Oh, good one.
Sticking with Ange, but Poch,
Oh, she had
There's
a
a bit
little
of doubt in
smile
there.
there.
There's a
She
bit of
was
doubt in there.
cracking.
there was no doubt.
Started cracking.
What I will say is absolutely sticking with Ange, backing Ange. But what I would say is it's all forgiven, Poch. You can come home anytime you want.
No, you and expressions are shameless.
No, but isn't Poch
A
going back a
undercover
bit like
agent.
that? if you're a man and you have your girlfriend and then you split up and then she goes with somebody you know. And then
Yeah, but I feel like it's one of those things where, look, we all know he didn't necessarily really want to go to Chelsea. He wanted to come back to Spurs, and then that didn't materialise. So he ended up going to Chelsea, and then he never kissed the badge. He literally twerked for Spurs the whole year.
It's similar to Mourinho
So
for us. Like, he didn't win anything, so it doesn't matter.
No, like he openly said how much he still loves us. You know, just the day before they came and played us.
And
So
beat you.
No, but just the
Beat
fact that
nine
you
men,
went to
babe,
Chelsea,
nine men.
it doesn't
Yeah,
soften your craw a
it
little
does.
Let
And
me-
obviously that's
couple
hurt.
more.
That's hurt us. And you know, we've called him a snake all year. But because he went there as an undercover op and didn't do anything good, you know, it's fine. He can come back and
Okay, Moses Francis says, after a long time, Abby speaks
You
sense.
clearly don't listen every week, then.
Mark T says, Spurs are in Melbourne, Australia. My mate who supports Spurs went to the friendly.
Lost.
And some fans said to Son, thank you very much for helping us to stop Arsenal. That, by the way, that's a weird...
Yeah, now.
Straight after the season finished,
Newcastle. We played Newcastle
to go and
yesterday.
play. What sort of strength of team was it?
Normal strength. It was. We literally went straight from the Sheffield game out there. I'm assuming as did Newcastle the other day as well.
That's a pure money thing, isn't it? It's got nothing to do with preparation.
Global football. Yeah, it's Global Football Week in Australia. So the Arsenal women's team are there as well. And there's another team that's also out there. So yeah, it's a friendly. It's a lot. Like, don't get me wrong. After having 90 minutes, you want to get on a 24-hour flight. I've done
That's
that
ridiculous.
flight. You don't want to do that.
mad.
But like.
Yeah, I've done that flight as well. Imagine the state of those players coming off of that.
Like, be knackered. The jet lag is wild. So
And they played the full strength team?
Yeah. We lost on penalties.
Wow.
But yeah, what? Look,
Isak scored, didn't he?
yeah, and Madison scored.
What was the score, sorry?
It was, I think it was 4-3 on pens in the end, or something.
it
I don't know.
1-0
It was while I was
4-3
filming, so I
pens.
wasn't really paying attention. But it was, yeah, they do it straight after. It's Global Football Week in Australia. So I think that's why they do it. But our pre-season tour is usually Australia and Asia anyway. So I guess they will probably end up going back there. Yeah, going
All right,
back.
James Baker here with a question. This one's for everyone here. Thoughts on Kompany going to Bayern Munich, because it looks like that is going to happen. Vincent Kompany, who got relegated this season with Burnley, going to get a massive job like Bayern Munich.
Oh, you know what? I'll kick that off. I think that's a very good signing by Bayern. I think he'll do well there.
Why?
Because he's
Just been relegated from the Premier
Yeah,
League.
that's true. But let's be honest, it was Burnley.
No, but hold on, wait a minute. It's Burnley, out of the 3 clubs that came up, they're the ones that spent money. They spent money.
Spent more money than Luton and Sheffield.
No, but they spent a decent
in the
amount.
wider scheme of things.
Yeah, listen, they didn't spend Chelsea money, but they spent a decent amount of money. For him to strengthen the team. And he looked very naive this season.
No, but the results did pick up towards the end of the season. A bit like what we were
they?
saying about Poch. Yeah,
They drew 2 Chelsea.
No, but hold on, Laurie, right? He looked very naive in the league, right? He was trying to, play, go and play, I don't know, say a Man City.
He was trying to get them to play out from the back.
Playing out from the back and that. They lost loads of games doing that. And
They
he didn't
did.
have the players to do that. Bayern
But
Munich
he will
job?
have the players at Bayern, and that's
No,
my
but-
point. And what I would say about
It's a big job.
Vincent Kompany,
It's a risk.
It is a risk, but I think it's a calculated risk. I think if you listen to the way he talks about football, comes across very well. Is very well respected. He has managed before at Anderlecht 2 seasons. I think he got 4th and 3rd.
Yeah.
When he went to Burnley, he got them promoted. They played very good football. People said that they liked the football.
Last season,
and all
though, at
that
the
stuff.
highest level, which is what he's going to be playing at, he flopped.
But with respect, he's going to Bayern. He will have a budget. He will have the players. And
Thomas
I think
Tuchel was at
Well, let's
Bayern
be
last.
honest, Bayern
Thomas Tuchel was at Bayern last year, won nothing.
Bayern Munich have gone through like 20 names of managers. So let's not pretend this is their first choice. They've gone through everybody. They asked my grandma if she wanted to manage. And I had to tell her, yeah, don't respond to that. You're not equipped.
You
don't
should have told
the
her to go
facilities.
Chelsea.
You don't have the facilities. So it's a risk. A lot of the big clubs right now are trying to find the next generation of managers, like the Contes, the Mourinhos. These, even Allegri, who looks like he's going, right, and Thiago Motta's are going to replace him. These guys are all expiring. They're all coming towards the end of their cycle in terms of managing this next generation of players.
Still surprised, though, that
playing
the
a
manager...
certain brand of football. So Thiago Motta's and Xavi, who's leaving Barcelona, people will be looking at Arteta, Kompany, McKenna, all of these guys. This is the next wave. So I don't believe these guys should be going into top jobs yet. I think they should be going, to a Tottenham next, or they should be going to a West Ham next.
Or a
Well,
Chelsea.
that's what I was going to
But-
Would you
or
have had
Chelsea.
Company at Chelsea?
No, I wouldn't have had Kompany go from Burnley to Chelsea. I would have liked for him to go to maybe a Brighton or a West Ham and then go afterwards, step by step. However, clubs are in trouble right now. They don't have many options, and maybe they're just fast. They're fast
I
tracking.
bring it back to Robbie's
fast-tracking
point.
them.
Arteta went from being number 2 at Man City to Arsenal, and everyone would agree that he's done progressively well. A great example, Xavi Alonso, Real Sociedad number 2. Look what he's done. So.
But what I'd say with Kompany, the reason why I'm saying that, I'm not saying that he might not be successful there. I'm not saying it's not, and I like when clubs think out of the box. It's just that he's had a very bad season. You know what I mean? That's why it's surprising.
I think that should be taken in context, though.
Yeah, but I am taking it in context. I'm saying that when you look at their spend, right? They spent
but you're
a decent
carrying on like
amount.
he spent millions of points.
Hold
It's
on.
not been that deep,
He spent, but also what I thought with Kompany last season, he looked very naive.
Yeah, he
at
stuck
this
to his
level.
principles. That's what they all do.
Yeah,
They all
and
stick to their
when
Highlights.
in games,
Highlights for life,
That's what they all
mate.
do.
in games when you got to adapt a bit, he didn't.
Maybe that's the new trend, though.
That is the
Well,
issue.
he don't get you far, does it?
Clearly not, but maybe that's the trend.
But now
maybe that's the trend.
Now I'm thinking results seems to be secondary. If you stick to your principles in the modern era right now, the big clubs are going to be more interested in you than if you do tinker and change and adapt to the players and maybe go more results basis. Ten Hag went results basis last season. He was very pragmatic. He didn't stick to maybe the ideologies that people thought he was going to bring in from Ajax. And look where he is now. No one wants to see that. Do you know what I mean? People want. If anything, they want the stubbornness, they want the principles, they want the system.
I personally think that Vincent Kompany could be an inspired signing. I think that
He could be.
They're thinking
Could be.
outside the box.
What do you think?
I think it's an interesting one because I actually do see both sides of the coin. I see what Laurie's saying, that he has take Burnley necessarily out of the equation this season. When he was at Anderlecht, he did do a decent enough job, and then obviously did get Burnley promoted. So it's because it's Bayern Munich, it's such a big club, it seems like such a big step, but they obviously have weighed up all the options and they've gone with, they obviously like the
they've
style.
been rejected.
Yeah, they probably have been rejected, but they like the fact that he's a young, upcoming, we can put, manager that has an ethos, has a style, and at Bayern Munich, that will translate better than it would do at Burnley.
Okay.
I think Burnley, obviously, in the Championship is one thing. Coming up and doing it against every team week in, week out, you can commend Kompany
win the
on the
league,
principles, but he's not expected.
Bayern Munich,
He's
you have to
expected
win the
to
league,
just
or
try
you
and keep them up. Yeah,
No, I
but
think they might give him a season's grace, given what Leverkusen
Bayern
did this
Munich.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure they give the grace.
Bayern
gotta
Munich,
win
you
the
have to
league.
win the league, and you have to go
They-
very
they
far
didn't-
at
they
the
didn't win the league
minimum.
this
They'd
year.
sack him
In the
after
cha-
one season.
Listen,
Yeah,
I'm not.
because they didn't win the league this year.
They sacked Nagelsmann when he was top of the league. He was top when they sacked him.
They have to, they're
It's-
a ruthless
You gotta
club.
win the
It is
league.
a bit of a strange
But
signing.
I think I'm interested to see how his philosophy
I hope
will
he does
play
well.
out with a team like Bayern.
Yeah, hope he
I'm
does
interested
well.
on
But
that.
Why are
it's a-
Bayern not a poison chalice? Why are they not getting the same scrutiny? Did they not sack Nagelsmann when they were top?
Yeah,
then
they
hire
are.
Thomas
Yeah, I know,
Tuchel
they've
for
done some
third?
madness.
You know what I'm saying?
And then
So
they've gone down ever
brought
since
Harry
they've done all
Kane in, let him score them goals and then not give him no trophy.
42 goals
They're
and
not
no
even in the
trophy.
German Super Cup next
Nothing.
season. Get them to Bayern Munich.
Let me get into some more super chats. Mark Edmond says Bowley likes Ole and Chris Wilder. I think he's trying to wind you up here.
Chris Wilder would be so good for you.
Edward,
you out
This table will be
defensively,
easy to
innit?
flip, you know. It's already...
It's his last legs.
Edward Streets, this one for you, Matisse. He says Thomas Frank played a very possession-based football with Brentford in the Championship. He's adapted in the Premier League.
That's what I said.
Yeah, but why are we
Pragmatism.
bringing in someone that hasn't shown in the Premier League they can play that brand
Maybe
of
he
football?
could do like what Laurie said. He was better
No.
players. Maybe
Listen,
he does that.
I'm already taking enough risks. Let me at least see the football.
Risk management.
Would you
see the
say
Sam-
then that, sorry, Robbie, just very quickly.
Gonna flip this table.
One word answer. Would you say that Thomas Frank is no better or worse than Graham Potter was?
They're all in the same. Yeah, they're in the same. They sit at the same table. We're not making strives up. You know, we're not making many moves if we're going for Thomas Frank. At
Okay.
least you can make a case for one of these young managers, back-to-back promotions. He's 38 years old. He could be one of the next big things. I don't know.
So would you have liked Vincent Kompany based on
no,
what you
I
just
wouldn't.
said?
No, I don't. You are
Well,
killing me
I'm
today.
sorry, you did just say that.
No,
you said
no.
You can make
Listen,
an argument for an
I
up-and-coming
said
manager.
Thomas Frank.
Promotion.
No,
38 years
I
old.
said
It sounded like you wanted
No,
Vincent Kompany.
Thomas. Is
It sounded
this
like
how
it.
the Clips channel survives? Because you man don't listen.
Keep
Is
the
that what it
lights.
is?
I keep the lights on in here.
Thomas Frank is at the
Clips.
bottom of my list, right? He is not showing that he plays the style of football that we want in the Premier League. At least with Kieran McKenna, who I do not want, he is showing with back-to-back promotions that he has high potential. I don't want high potential because that's a risk.
Thomas Frank had back-to-back promotions as well.
Did he?
Yeah.
Remember,
How old
he
is that
bought-
man? 50 now?
Remember, he bought.
Wow, I was trying to say that's
he was
old.
the one. He bought Brentford. He brought them up to where they are now. Sam 96
not
says,
playing that
Abby,
football
can I get a Spurs shirt signed by you?
Sure, send it here.
Yeah?
Send it to
No,
the office.
Tocker Social.
Tocker, yeah, of course.
Make sure you come down there on the night and I'm sure
Absolutely.
she'll sign it for you.
Happily.
Moses Francis says, Abby, I listen to you very carefully.
Thank you.
This is lane changer.
I'm a lane changer. That's not me. That's Flex.
Okay.
Flip-flop Flex.
Ramza says, we sacked Ancelotti after he finished second in the league, and I'm supposed to be sad that this Spurs bottler is gone. He goes, don't tell me we've had a good last few games. We were crap for 30 games before that, so he's not unhappy that Poch has gone.
If you're gonna, it's just the last point. If you're gonna get someone right in the Premier League, you don't get Thomas Frank, you get De Zerbi. That's my stance. Like, he plays the football. There you
Okay.
go.
Of course, the FA Cup final is on this weekend. It is Manchester City versus Manchester United. Manchester City going for the double. Manchester United aiming to win a trophy this season. Flex is not here today. He's got a load of filming on, but he has sent us this video to tell us what he thinks is going to happen in the game. Check this out.
Yes, couldn't be there on the show today, so I'm not ducking my responsibilities. Now, I know you guys are going to be sitting around the table, well, not everyone, hating, just, waiting for us to lose and get smashed and get absolutely battered. Who shall I start with? Matisse, you. Yep, you finished higher than Man United, all of that stuff. You better hope we don't win this. You better, so I know you'll come with all your hate and judge, that's fine, but if we win, watch. Abby, can't really work you out, to be honest. 1 minute you're Matisse's mate, then you're going to be up Man City's arse, then you've got Man United's arse. You just need to pick a lane and stay there. Just choose where you're at. Robbie's all right. He to be fair, he's not too bad. ADT, you're going to be hating Liverpool. I expect that. But what do I think? We can win this game. It's not like a Liverpool one where I said we are 100%, million percent going to win. It ain't that. It's peak. Listen, City are in the mode. They're in the mood. They're a machine. But for us, it's a chance, man. Of course it is. It's an FA Cup final. It's a one-off game. I've seen that Ten Hag has been less, like, how can I say? He's been less stubborn the last couple of games. He's definitely worked on his 4-4-2. That's going to give us the best chance. The big one is the Rashford one. I don't think he should start Rashford. I don't. I don't know, the heartbreak of the England thing. He hasn't had that much minutes going into the game. I can't see it. And I don't think Willian starts as well. So I think we're going to see something up at Ten Hag's sleeve. So, yeah, I'm going Man United, penalties, win after 1-1 in normal time or after extra time. Yeah? So hold that. I might be holding it by Monday. But anyway, I believe. Come on!
He's coming with the belief thing, right?
Believe.
He don't believe.
He don't believe.
When I'm listening to that, right? He gave that big speech and then he's telling us about penalties.
He don't
I mean,
believe.
he don't believe at all. But it is a FA Cup final, and anything can happen in a cup game. You never know. Nobody thought that they beat Liverpool.
No.
And they beat
But Liverpool versus Man City is two different kettles of fish, though, isn't it? Like, Liverpool they give you a chance, Liverpool. Man City how many games have they won in a row now on the back of the Premier League win?
No, they didn't lose a game since December.
Yeah.
Listen, the only way they stand
No chance.
the only way they stand a chance is if they've had too much to drink, Man City. I'm seeing photos of Scott Carson, he won't play, but Jackie G is going off, you know what I mean? Haaland, hairs down. If these players have not recovered from the nights out, then Man United stand a chance. But if they're sober and they're fully focused, it's finished. Absolutely finished.
By the way, let's get the likes up on the video, right? So make sure you like the video, right? But I take it you're giving Manchester
Flex
United
is just going for a day out.
no chance.
No, Flex just going for a day out. He knows he is. He's just going out for the sun, for the scenes, for the sights. He's not going there
So
for...
no chance whatsoever.
Nah. We've seen Man United all season. Even against Brighton, they got bopped. They just, literally every time I watch Manchester United, it's very rare I see them play very well. They've had poor performances for most of the campaign. They finished where they deserve to finish, finally. They're well balanced out. And, in terms of individual quality, they can't talk to City either.
We have seen, like, United this season, like,
Scumbag,
put everybody behind the ball.
Scumbag.
Low block.
Scumbag the results.
Scumbag the results.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, not this time. Not this time. Man City are too good. Even if you put people behind the ball, look what Foden can do. We saw it on the last day. He's done that like 3 times or 4 times this season. Cutting off the left and then cutting off the right and then slap it top bins. So It's not going to happen, Robbie.
Any chance for Manchester United, Abby?
Listen, they struggled against Coventry.
That's what I'm saying.
They was 3-0 up, and they nearly, that tiny little, wonky line that they drew just to rule that Coventry winner out. I don't know. Like, usually I feel like when Flex is confident, you see him with the glasses, like just chat so much crap. So like this week, it's like he wants to do that.
Win it,
he wants to will that on. He wants to put the glasses on, but there's something in him which is saying, no, I can't. Like, I can't wear the glasses. I can't be that guy. So that just tells you all you need to know. And obviously, I think, look, there's a lot riding on this in terms of Ten Hag, because I think people think if he doesn't win this game or win this trophy, which is a big ask against Man City, then he probably will be out of a job. Ten Hag doubt, it's crept in. Ten Hag in, Ten Hag out, whatever. So I don't know. They've put Odegaard on the screen again. That's original. We need to work on other things, guys.
Why
I don't know.
Odegaard on the screen with Man City lifting the Premier League title?
Yeah, that's the one they should put on there.
That's the one you really should be
I sent that
putting
one
up,
in, and production didn't use it last week. So feel free to put that one on there.
You should be making.
I'll do the little Sonny back.
Pick up the trophy.
Cute.
Pick up the trophy.
Get
Let them
that
take a picture of that.
It's cute.
Get the trophy, Abby.
Oh yeah.
No, I wouldn't touch that if I was you.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't want to rule United out completely because it's like you don't know what can happen in a final. Plus, it's a derby of a final as well. It's a big game, and it's all they've got to play for. An 8th place finish. This is what their season is coming down to. Is on this game. And I feel like United fans have openly said that. Flex has said that as well, that he will make that judgment call after the game on how that season has been. But if Erik Ten Hag does do this, does win a trophy, he will have won 2 trophies in the last 2 seasons. And that, for me, secures his job for another year.
Okay. Laurie,
Shouldn't.
if I give you £100...
2 trophies.
No, actually, I don't give you £100. You take your
give me £100.
You take £100. Yeah. You take £100, and you know that if you put it on United, right, you can win 1,000. But if you
Only 1,000.
Where are we going with this?
It is a 2-horse race.
You can win
So the odds will
£1,000,
be,
or you lose your 100. What would you refuse to bet?
No, I mean, listen, I first and foremost, I am looking forward to the game, end of season showpiece. I am a big fan of the FA Cup. I actually feel a little bit jealous of United fans because I'm a big fan of the FA Cup. Used to watch it a lot when I was a kid, and I'm just hoping for a good game. That being said, you got to make City heavy favourites.
Do they have any chance, United?
Yeah, they do, because like I said, it's a 2-horse race on the day. Literally anything can happen. A moment's brilliance, maybe a poor refereeing decision, something, ball goes off someone's bum into the net. You never know. But rational thinking would dictate that City are by far the better team, so they should win.
Rashford starting a game for you. You heard Flick saying that he wouldn't start Rashford. Would you start Rashford in it?
I would. I disagree with Flex. I think if somebody's had a personal disappointment like that, hopefully you want to play him so that guy's especially motivated. No, but that should motivate him to show everybody, listen, man, this is what I've got. How could you dare leave me out of the squad?
Rashford, would you start Rashford if you was United?
Is Diallo fit? That's the only player I'm interested in. I'll be honest. I wouldn't be looking to Rashford. I'll be looking at Diallo. Diallo's the only forward that's been really impressing me since Ten Hag's been given him minutes. So if I was a Man United fan, I'd be hoping Diallo's available. Anybody else outside that is just, if they decide to turn up on the day. Rashford sometimes can give you some quality, sometimes he won't. So yeah,
Rashford blows hot and cold. But let's be honest, right? We've all had our things to say about him. But on his day, he's an electric player.
Scored against City.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy that can.
He is.
He can do damage.
Scored against City in the last game, didn't he?
Yeah,
Scored that worldie.
I said this yesterday on another show that I feel like being led out of England, that was absolutely the right call from Gareth Southgate, and give him
100%
the credit on that, because to leave out players that have been clutch for England, like a Rashford, a Sterling, which again he's kind of been out of it for a while, but like even Henderson, like we didn't expect Southgate to do that. That's another topic. But Marcus Rashford, show yourself in this game. If you're selected, stand up and stand there and do what you do and go like that and be like, okay, I'm showing you, Gareth, you should have picked me. You've had a terrible season.
Not just Gareth, show you United fans.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm saying about that, on the back of that, stand up and be counted for and be like, yeah, you know what, I've had a bad season. Everything that goes on in the media, then go and score a goal and I stand there like that and say, what are you talking about? But it's not consistent. So this is your opportunity to be Mr. Manchester United.
And
do that again.
That being said, he's a Manchester lad. It's a Manchester derby in London. big showpiece occasion, he should be absolutely bursting at the seams to show what he's
Well,
got.
he should be.
Absolutely.
Let's
He
get it
should
right.
be.
In my opinion, when I look
You'd
at
hope he'd
Rashford.
be motivated by what's happened with
He
the
should be
England
the
squad.
main man
100%.
for United. You're the highest earner. You're the main guy.
Rise.
You should be there. Rise.
Rise.
You're right, Abby. Rise. But he ain't risen at all this season.
No.
I mean, he's been really poor. But I'm trying to think in my head how United are going to win this game, apart from what Laurie's saying, bits of luck and all that.
Well, I think
And I just
Bruno's
can't
back,
see it.
right? Bruno
Bruno
will
should
be
be
fit.
back, I think, yeah. But even with Bruno back, I'm just trying to think, how are they going to stop
Bruno in a big
City?
game.
That's that's more what I'm thinking.
What's their
How do they
defensive
stop City?
situation? We're not looking at Casemiro at centre back, are we? They've got two fit centre halves.
Did Lisandro Martinez, is he back?
He was
fit?
back for the last game, wasn't he?
Okay.
Okay, so we're
I don't
not
know- I
looking
don't know
at
if he got injured again or
if
what
we're looking at Casemiro at centre back. Good night, God bless. Like we're done, we're done. But
I think if you look at United's run to the finals, okay, so they played Wigan in the third round, Newport after that, Forest. So it's a fairly
Easy
comfortable
run.
run.
Only
But
Liverpool's
then
been the only-
they played Liverpool. And if
Yeah.
I remember rightly, at that time, everyone was tipping Liverpool to win, especially with the Klopp
Yeah.
thing and everything else. And they managed to overcome, don't tell me quite how they did it, but they managed to overcome Liverpool, one of their fiercest rivals, in the quarter-final. So they do have, on their day, if they get things right, they do have a
But
chance.
I think there's a bit like what Matisse was saying, is that Liverpool do give you chances, don't they? That Liverpool do. City don't really give you those
I
chances.
don't know how you say that, but
Even
City...
not as many. Not
as many. Not as
it's
many.
about being clinical when they get a chance.
For me,
That's what it is.
That midfield has no chance of keeping up with Man City. Like
City are on form.
We've been looking at pairings of Kobe Mino, Amrabat, Casemiro in defence sometimes at centre back, Evans if it's not Martinez. They do not have the quality in midfield.
But
They
if
just
they're
don't.
back and they're fit, you don't think that having a midfield of Bruno, Kobe, Casemiro,
No.
Jamal said a
Casemiro
fully
this
fit
season's
squad.
been-
I'm
you
not
don't
sure
think
if
that's
it's
enough
Casemiro
to even like? No, I'm not saying win the game, but take a game to City, make it hard work.
The way Casemiro's been playing this season, even in midfield, Foden is going to eat him alive. It's
But
gonna
cast
be-
your mind back to Man City's semi-final against Chelsea. Obviously,
Yeah.
you know that.
We're betting,
I thought, yeah, okay, but I thought in that game Chelsea were a little bit
were.
unlucky.
I think though, since then though, City have hit form, haven't they? Like you know, the way they finished off the season in particular, they were really flying. They've got players that are flying out. They've got a fully fit squad.
Do you think they were flying against Tottenham? Be honest.
They weren't great against Tottenham. I think there was a bit of nerves to that.
Yeah.
But they still won the game 2-0. They got Haaland who's firing. They've got Foden who's firing.
Yeah, you're right. They are favourites. I'm just trying
to make a case for United. Listen, it's
As a neutral, I just want to see a competitive game.
It's the FA Cup final.
I think it might
and
be
in
closer than we
finals,
think it will
yeah,
be.
I mean, listen, even the semi-final, who gave Coventry a prayer? And they nearly pulled it off. And it is Man United. You know what I mean,
Magic
they
in the
are a
FA
big
Cup.
club.
Listen, I need them to lose anyway because I need the Europa League place. So
And I actually don't mind if United win.
of course you don't.
Well, funny
just wanna
enough,
see me
like
go through more pain.
if United lose, you get a Europa League place, and we actually get to play in the Community Shield again.
You can't count that as a trophy.
Why do you guys love the
You
Community
can't
Shield
keep
so much,
claiming
man?
it.
Nice day out,
Claim it
man.
as a
And plus
trophy.
we-
I'm on
winning.
about for trophy.
I know, but you guys.
It's nice to start.
You got pre-season in America. You know, you guys go out there. You got
that
day
first game of the season at Wembley, man.
Julian
It's
and
nice.
Lee judges on the
That's
train.
nice.
But you know
what
what?
I'm
But you know what,
Not that I
Matisse,
can
right? A lot of
make it
people
sure.
minimise that competition, but Robbie will tell you the boost you get from winning that first sort of
FA Cup.
showpiece-
No,
yeah.
that'd be huge for
No,
them.
he's saying the Community Shield.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm just hold on a minute. Then why don't people talk about that way for the League Cup then? Because that is the real first trophy.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but I'm not even.
And
No,
you
I'm
lot
saying.
That's what I'm
that's
saying.
that
You
up.
man
Wait
never
time.
take that
There's a
seriously.
big
I'm
try.
You guys haven't won the League Cup.
I'm not so on about it as like winning the Community Shield. I'm on about for your first game and that sort of that curtain raiser of the season. It's nice to be in that.
Speaking
That's what
as an
I'd like to
Arsenal
be-
fan,
to
I
be
know
all
that
their end all,
definitely.
but
we
I wouldn't mind
definitely
being in
got
that.
It's a nice day
When
out.
we beat City last year, Robbie will tell you we definitely got a lift from that, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who
But-
had the last laugh?
It's a good, nice way to start the season, but and for you guys, you'd be in the Europa League, and if United win that, you're in the Conference League.
I know.
right?
That's why I need them to lose. I'm not doing propaganda today.
Why? You can get that nice.
All these Man United fans say in the chat, this guy, I hate this nerd. Brother, I'm not your friend. Am I your friend?
Why don't you want to be in the Conference
I
League?
want to be in the Europa League.
Your
Man
brother-
City 5-0, please.
Yeah, but
Let's go.
Your brother's West Ham won it. Like, why don't you want to win
Give a
it?
damn.
Why not?
Let Newcastle go in now. I don't want to take European football from Away the lads. You know what I'm
Away
saying?
the
I
lads.
love Newcastle. They've done some good recruitment. Tosin's coming in from Fulham. Lloyd Kelly. Let them get that European football they deserve. They deserve. Man United don't deserve Europa League, man.
Casemiro's legs are completely gone, says Akash, right? Is what he's saying. Let me get predictions on that. Laurie.
That being said, everything I said.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. No one's going to predict any Man United win on this panel.
No, I mean, I've got to be
After
true
all
to
that.
After all that.
I've got to be true
And
to
when
my
we're proven
convictions.
right with our predictions,
That-
I want to see everybody giving us our flowers in the clips.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. I predict that City will win.
How much?
However, I'm just hoping for
Scoreline.
a competitive game.
You said that already. Scoreline.
Praise.
3-1 City. By 2 clear goals.
2-0 City.
I'll go 3-1 City as well. I like that score.
I actually like the 3-1 as well. That was wasn't that the
Same
score when
squad
they
as
played
Etihad.
yeah. Although I'll tell you what, United, if they don't get to grips with City,
Could be
that
more.
could be the way City are playing at the moment and the way United are playing at the moment. I know. Does form go out the window really when it comes to City? It don't, does it? They kind
It
of
doesn't,
follow
but
it through.
sport has a way of throwing up different.
Curveballs.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
trying to think of how. I mean, for United, they of course they have a look at Real Madrid. You know, if we're trying to give United chances, right? Look at Real Madrid in that semi-final against City. They didn't really have a lot of shots to it.
They just
But on
sat
the
in.
counter-attack,
Defend.
Vinny versus Rashford. What we
but
do?
if Rashford steps up, everyone's got, all the United attackers have got to be on it. Hoyland, all that. If they get that chance,
No, but
they've got to be ruthless with it.
Earlier
But
in the show,
they've got
we
a chance.
spoke
They've got
about
a chance.
it. There was an upset in the Europa League. I know it's not like for like, but I'm saying how many people would have predicted
But
that
they're in form,
Leverkusen would
Atalanta.
lose 3-0 to
They're
Atalanta
in
after
form.
being going unbeaten all
I know,
season.
but Atalanta at
None of
least.
us would have predicted.
But Atalanta, the thing is,
Atalanta
right,
have been playing
Atalanta,
well, though.
Atalanta at least have won 5 out of the last 5 league games. They have a footballing identity. They actually play well, and they beat Liverpool in the previous knockout rounds.
Yeah,
They've
but what
actually
I'm
been really
saying,
good in the
did you
tournament. But Man
predict they
United,
would win?
you can't say
Hang
this
on.
for United.
A,
They
did you
got
did you
past
predict they would
commentary
win? Tell the
on
truth.
penalties.
Did
They
you-
gave away a 3-goal lead.
Okay,
These
I hear that.
comparisons ain't comparing.
It is.
It don't work.
And I'll tell you
it
why.
It don't make sense.
Because if we'd have got sat round this table,
The maths ain't maths.
the day before the Europa League, I guarantee none of us would have.
We wouldn't have.
predicted
No,
that
we would have had Bayer
Right.
Leverkusen as favourites.
Right.
However, you wouldn't have,
especially 3-0.
Yeah, but you wouldn't
No
have
way.
you wouldn't have gone into that game saying that Atalanta have no chance if you've been like watching Atalanta, because they, like I said, they won 5 out of the last 5. They play good football. We saw them in the knockout rounds. That doesn't Man United don't.
I know
don't-
it's not a like for like.
It's
I'm
not a
just
like for
saying
like.
that, as myself and Abby agrees, sport can throw up curveballs.
It can.
It can.
So do you want to change your
Absolutely.
prediction then and back United?
No.
Okay.
I'm just saying it wouldn't be a massive shock if United won.
Is anybody out there backing United? Is anybody out there
United
watching
fans.
the show right now?
United fans will.
You know,
Actually, you know what? For the benefit of this conversation, I'm going to change my prediction.
Oh, they'll clip you
Just
up.
for the
They'll
benefit.
Are
clip
you
you
here on
up.
Monday to stand on business?
Nah.
No.
well, all right, check.
If United win, I
change
will
it?
be. Yeah.
What we changing it to?
I'm going to change my prediction to a 2-1 Man United win.
Okay, Jamal says, stop acting like we've not beaten them in the past. And that's the thing, is that people forgetting as well, it's a derby. So United, maybe we're being a bit harsh on
It's a derby
United
last
because
final
it's
as
a
well.
derby.
When Man United needed to stop them from doing the treble, was that not a derby? What happened?
Yeah, that's true.
They got pammed.
They have players United that on their day, Bruno Fernandes, Rashford.
Everyone's got to step up. Bruno's got to step up. Garnacho, Rasmus Højlund.
Kobe Mainoo, Diallo. They've got good players. If they step up and they fancy it on the day, and
The
if
defence though, Laurie, man. How's that defence going to keep out the
I feel like
big...
I'm playing myself now.
Some of those
Put a
players
lot
in
on the
that
line for
defence.
this.
That's what...
That is-
I think, you know, if you give United... Listen, players like Bruno, top quality, right? And whatever you say about him, I think Bruno Fernandes is a top quality player.
100%.
But when I look at the defence now, I'm looking at players and I'm thinking, nah, if City are on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to conceive a world where City don't win, but listen, like I said, man,
Stranger
sport,
things have happened.
stranger things have happened.
Yeah. By the way, guys, don't forget, as I said, the Toca Social, right? Toca Social, we're going to be down there on the day, so make sure you check that out. The tickets are available right now. We're also doing a watch-along to the FA Cup final here on DR Sports, right? A combination of me, Ty, and expressions. So don't expect that
I'll
to
be here as well.
You around?
Yeah.
Jump in, man. Don't expect that to be a quiet watch along, right? That's going to probably be a bit of a wild watch along, right? But big watch along to the FA Cup final. Me Expressions and Ty on the day, right, are going to be guiding you through what happens on that day. But it's going to be really interesting.
That game, I must admit.
By the way, West Ham now confirming that they've appointed Lopetegui as their new manager. Good appointment, Matisse? Would you have had him at Chelsea?
No. I'm trying to remember his Wolves stint. I don't remember it being brilliant. Yeah, it was
doing
quite,
too bad,
quite a short stint. His Real Madrid stint was really
Even
short.
shorter.
I'm not sure.
Spanish manager at one time as well?
I'm not sure. I feel like West Ham actually would have been maybe better off going with some of these other candidates that we're talking about for Chelsea and Bayern Munich job. But, you know, it would have been interesting to see if they gave one of those guys a chance. But I think it's more actually on whether West Ham can actually keep their key players. Like, if they lose Paqueta, maybe Kudus, then obviously I think the expectations automatically have to drop anyway. So it'll be interesting to see what team they come into the season with, because they've got some good players, but they'll be very sought after.
Yeah, completely.
Lopetegui?
Completely echo what Mar said. Again, like the Wolves stint, I don't really remember it too much. I think they played some decent enough football. The Madrid one was really short. I think that was just 14 games. Spain, as you mentioned, I would have fancied someone like a De Zerbi for West Ham. I don't know whether or not he would have taken it, and obviously it's not necessarily the West Ham way, but obviously West Ham fans want to move away from what the West Ham way is in terms of that being physical type of football. They want to see the Paquetas flourish, the Kuduses, the Bowens, etc. So I feel like De Zerbi might have been quite a nice fit for that. But I mean, whether or not Kudus is there in another year or so, I don't know. But Paqueta, I still think he'll end up at City this summer. So I don't know. Like, they seem excited by it. Spoke to Anton about it yesterday, and he seems happy with the appointment. So let's see how it goes.
Expectations are really high, though, aren't they?
Yeah,
It does come with a good reputation, but I don't know. I'm getting visions. Who's the guy that was at Man City that went to West Ham?
Pellegrini.
Yeah, it kind of gives me those kind of vibes, but we'll see.
Yeah. You know, because there's bare managers getting. Hansi Flick is taking over at you know, reports are he's going to be taking over at Barcelona. He was a great manager in the early days at Bayern. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
Which then means Xavi will be leaving.
Yes.
You know, they were sacking him, and then he was going to stay on. Then he's falling out with him again. He's leaving. What about Xavi? Xavi at Chelsea?
No, that's not going to happen. I think.
No, but would you like that to happen?
I think with managers like Xavi, these
Possession football and all that. Sorry to cut you. Possession football, everything you spoke about.
These managers are very club orientated for me. Like he's gone into Barcelona with the reputation of being a legend at Barcelona, and I think those
you won the league.
Yeah, he did, and I think those intangibles are important. Like there's a reason why he's going to be loved and given time at Barcelona. I don't know if that necessarily translates to Chelsea, where most of the 2000s we hated Barcelona and they hated us. Like they always said we were the most difficult team to play against. So I don't know. Like is Xavi going to come to the Premier League? I kind of compare it to Zidane. Zidane was also very picky about what clubs he went to, and he never came to the Prem. And I don't even know how good his English is as well. So I think these things also have to be factored in.
Would you want him if he was available at Chelsea?
No, not really.
Jeez.
So is it Tuchel or bust for you then?
No, like I honestly think De Zerbi is a better transition than a Xavi or these other names. I think if you're going to
use on this show slagging De Zerbi.
No,
that's Flex.
But you was joining in and saying you agree.
A little
with
bit
it.
of banter, you know what I mean?
No, but I'm certainly surprised that you would want to go for De Zerbi. Given the turmoil that's already existed at the club.
You have to. I don't want, but I'm just saying.
No, but you said you take it.
I would prefer.
Right.
If I had
so, given the turmoil that's been at Chelsea for a while, with a hothead like De Zerbi coming into that mix, does that work?
Most top managers have hotheads. I'm not saying he's a top manager, but most top managers, unless you're Carlo with the eyebrow, like most of them do have a little bit of a hot head.
Well, they got egos.
Yeah, but the ownership have to learn to work with managers. Like they can't just keep saying we want you to just shut up and be quiet. There's only a couple of managers that are going to do that are of the highest level. Like, you do need to be able to work with them. They couldn't find an agreement with Nagelsmann last year. They couldn't find an agreement with Enrique because he wanted fresh wingers and they didn't want to give it to him. These are two very good managers. Like, I can't keep going through all of the good managers and everybody tell me, oh, we can't work with them because they have a mouth.
No, but if
All
you
right,
look
all
at,
right. 1 second.
That's crazy.
Right, so super chats here. Caden says, great season, even though you all don't have a Villa rep. I've enjoyed y'all views. And Rose, he said, and thanks to Abby for not caring about fourth and letting us limp into that position.
Up the Villa.
Right.
Up the Villa.
Dean says, what midfield three should start for England? Good one.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
Well,
it's a
Declan
good
Rice, obviously.
Bellingham, obviously.
I like
Bellingham.
Mainu, Rice, Bellingham. I like that as a three.
Where does Foden go though? Foden's got to play.
Yeah, Foden obviously goes in as well. But I'd
right.
play...
Where does
Saka.
Foden go then?
You could play Foden on the left. Cutting in.
It's not his best though. He's got to be in the 10 for me, or he's got to be on the right. But
So then you get to just go Bellingham, Rice.
Bellingham,
Rice,
Rice, Foden,
Foden.
is that balanced? I do like the Palace kid. I know it's probably too
Yeah,
early to
Adam
start him.
Walton.
Will he even make the squad, Walton? Yeah, but I've been very impressed with him. I think
I don't think he'll make the full.
I think he's even
cut.
brought more balance to the midfield than maybe Kobe Mainoo will.
You're
to be
free?
honest.
Yeah, that's a very Bellingham and Rice, no brainers. Mainu, Foden.
So much talent.
Don't know. There's an embarrassment of riches.
And also,
Okay.
you're looking at Cole Palmer, who I think is going to be so important as well for the Euros.
It's going to be on.
What I would
It's-
say,
can't fit all
no,
these guys
it's
in.
going to be off the bench, Cole Palmer. But as in, I feel like when he comes off the bench, he's going to have impact.
what I would say, it'll be a massive disappointment if England don't at least get to the final.
Okay, Yashram says,
Yeah.
Matisse, Xavi, everyone on his list tactically.
Xavi is better than everybody on the list
Everyone
tactically.
better.
Would
Everyone on
you?
your
Would you
list.
rather?
I just don't
rather
know.
have kept Poch?
You don't know what he's typical Chelsea. You don't know what he wants.
Hold on, can I have time to think?
You know what you want.
Can I have time to answer the question? Listen,
That voice went
as
high.
I said earlier, I think Poch would have been sacked in the next season anyway.
Yes.
The
But would you have
expecta-
rather kept him for this season?
I'm not going to say that it would have not been a risk. Like I
What
personally,
then? What do you want?
I just said Tuchel. Why nobody don't listen,
Because
bro?
they don't want no Tuchel.
but
Tuchel's not happening.
Me and them are not the same
It's
people.
not happening.
All right, that's not.
But you need to get rid of
that's
the.
no
You
problem.
need to get
All
out
right,
of your head
you're
the
asking-
Tuchel's
you're
asking
asking-
the
you said
Jose.
You're asking
That's
me.
old Chelsea.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
That's
But
winning
you're
things
asking
Chelsea.
me. You're asking me what I want.
That's
If I tell
Chelsea.
you
Like,
I
that's-
want,
that ain't Chelsea
if
now.
I tell you I want pizza for dinner and you tell me I can't have pizza for dinner. And then you say, do you want burgers or... I said I want pizza. If you're not going to give me the pizza, don't ask me. Don't ask me.
But that
Yeah,
was,
but what
that
if
was
pizza's
old
not
you.
on the menu?
That was old you.
Then I'm leaving the restaurant. I told you, I don't want nothing on the menu.
No, you
I
said
want
you want
pizza.
Deserby.
If you can't give me pizza, then don't ask me.
Maybe he wanted dessert, not deserving.
All right, listen, we've come to the end. We've come to the end of the show. He still ain't been able to make his mind up.
I told you what I want. You might just don't want
He's
the
not on the
answer.
menu.
He ain't happening.
He's not there.
Then leave me out of it. Leave me out of it. I'll take whoever and I'll back them and then I'll judge them based on the job
boy.
they
Listen,
do,
we've
man.
reached the end of the show. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Don't forget, the weekend roundup is going to be live on the 3rd of June at the Tocker Social at the O2. Live show where we're all going to be there. Everybody on the panel. Make sure you come down on the night. You can cook us. You can play football with us. Also, we're going to be watching the England game and we're going to be talking, doing the show live from the venue and talking and having a big discussion with you guys. So if you haven't already got your ticket, get your ticket right now. The link is in the description. Click it. Make sure you get your ticket early because they are selling fast. We're really looking forward to it. I'll be there on the night. Abby, Matisse, Flex, AGT, when he gets back from slumped in that corner with those Guinnesses, right? Laurie will be passing through as well. So make sure you check it out. Links in the description right now. I want to thank everybody. Matisse, settle down, mate.
It's been a pleasure.
Getting a bit of vex there,
By the
innit?
time he comes in next week, they'll probably be...
They're going to have someone.
They've probably brought
Yeah.
someone in, and
By
by the
Monday.
following week, they've sacked him. Abby, thanks very
Thank
much.
you.
And also to you, Laurie, well done for standing
Thanks
in.
for having me.
Thanks,
and to
Laurie.
Flex, and thanks to you guys, and we'll see you at the Tocker Social.
The weekend roundup is live here at Tocker Social on the 3rd of June. We're gonna be here cooking people for days. It's gonna be a madness. Ange, Poch, Robbie with Arsenal. You guys need to be getting your tickets. We're gonna be doing a live show. We're playing games, watching England play as well. It's gonna be a madness. Make sure you're here for it live.